Hey guys, we just released the 3.3 version for the Power FT ECU line. We included compatibility with the switch panel 8, max electronic throttle position control by time as a drag racing launch control, and internet remote tuning now integrated to the FT Manager software. Check this and other new stuff in this video. Alright, so first feature we add on this version is the map selection by button. If you can't find this under other functions, you just navigate here to map options, and you just enable this checkbox right here, and click here, and you'll see all the options. What this feature does is it allows you to select the active map by using either a single button. So anytime you click this button, it will switch between the maps you selected right here. That's the activation mode of this single button. Or you can use one input, one button per map, and these are the activation mode for these buttons for the maps you select right here. Of course, you can use the switch panel 8 right here, and select which button will do which feature. So you can select the button to enable map number 1, map number 2, or that's the map selection button. So each time you click this button, that feature will will switch between the maps you selected here, you enabled right here. Another pretty useful feature added, it was the max throttle position by time. So to enable this feature, you just go to drag race features, then you check the box enable on the time-based max throttle position. This feature creates a throttle opening curve by time. So even if the driver hits 100% of the pedal, the throttle will not open until this curve has ended. So as you can check on this data log right here, the red line shows the pedal position. You can see it is on 100%, almost all of the paths of the car. But the throttle line, that is this orange one, throttle is not at, it is like on 50%, and it goes smoothly opening to create a curve based on time. So it will just reach 100% throttle after around 3 seconds after pass. But notice that this will not prevent the driver from closing the throttle. So once the pedal goes below the line of the throttle body, it will instantly follow the pedal. But this will prevent the driver from opening the throttle more than what the tuner wants it to open. So it's pretty useful to standardize the pass, the launches, and to make all the launch controls, like with cuts and retards and timing retards, to activate more smoothly. So pretty useful, especially for standardized launches on drag racing cars. Another cool feature we added on this 3.3 version is the internet remote tuning. It's right here on this tab on the top. This allows two FT managers with internet access to access one another. So if you have your tuner on another state, another country, and you want to remote tuning your car, or check a data logging, or check a dyno pass, you just have to hit this allow button. This will generate a 6-digit code. You have to tell your tuner this code. The tuner will then enter this code right on this field and click connect. Once the tuner hits the connect button, you will have access to all the features on your computer. So you can see all diagnostic panel and information in real time. You can edit all the fuel and timing tables in real time as well. And it can send you files, map files, or any kind of file. It can download maps from your ECU and to your ECU, and even it can the tuner can download data logins that you just recorded on your ECU. So you don't depend on third-party programs anymore. You just have to have your FT Manager software connected to both, installed to both computers, and both computers connected to the internet. So it's pretty simple now to communicate to communicate two computers and make it possible to your tuner to remote tuning your car. The 3-step feature has been modified on this 3.3 version. We added a roll start feature on 3-step. So by using a white input on a button on the steering wheel, you can do a roll start and build boost by just hitting the 3-step button, and so you don't have to use the brakes anymore. So a lot of users use the brake and boost strategy, but now once you hit the 3-step button and you have the operation mode set as roll start, the RPM limiter is not editable anymore. So let's say you're rolling with the car at like 60 miles an hour, and you are like at 3,000 RPM. So you want to build boost, but not launch right away. So you hit the 3-step button. The 3,000 RPM the car is in will be the RPM for limiter. So the ECU will limit the RPM, will cut the ignition to hold the car on the 3,000 RPM and on the 60 miles an hour, let's say. And once you release it, so you can hit 100% throttle, that it will build boost, and the fuel enrichment will be activated, and the timing you set here will also be applied. So you can select fixed timing or the timing table for rev launch. So anyway, you can use this feature to build boost, and once you release the 3-step button, the 3-step limiter will not be on anymore. So this helps especially on to build boost on roll starts, but it will also help to build boost on dyno passes, on RPMs you will not usually have boost by doing like a full throttle pass. So you can hit the 3-step button, build boost, and then start the pass with boost on these lower RPMs. Now, multi-tooth cam sync is now compatible with the 3.3 version. So, on the previous versions, you had to either modify your cam sync to a single tooth cam trigger, either use a semi-sequential injection, a wasted spark ignition. But now, let's say you have a 60-2 to a 58X the crank trigger, and you have a Hall effect cam sync sensor, and let's say you have 30 degrees, the cam sync aligned at 30 degrees. So when you have a single tooth, this is pretty easy to figure, but when you have multi-tooth, now you can keep that cam trigger wheel. Let's say you stop the engine at top dead center on cylinder number 1, and you turn the engine until you turn the engine back until one of the tooth from the cam trigger stops in front of the cam sensor. So you check the position of the engine, let's say 30 degrees. Then you set the cam sync window angle. So this is like a window to, so you'll tell you have the cam sync tooth is on 30 degrees, but you have a window of 60 degrees. So from 0 to 60 degrees before top dead center, the cam sync is positioned there. So all the other teeth on the cam trigger wheel will not be read. So this allows you to use your stock cam trigger and without having to modify it or change it to a single tooth cam trigger. The CAN communication window setup also went through a remodeling on this version. So in order to set up the EGT8 CAN, these versions made it very easy to set up. So just check which channel you connected to which cylinder, and click here and select the function of each one of these channels, which reading is connected to each one of these channels. let's say you have either V6 or a inline-4 engine, and you have extra channels that you're not using on the EGT8 can. What you can do is purchasing a K-type engine temperature or air temperature or oil temperature sensor that we also have, and connect these sensors to one of the inputs of the EGT8 can module. And what you'll do is you'll free up one of your white inputs of your ECU, so you can use all these channels for compensation, for engine temperature compensations and any other compensation, and freeing up a white input on your ECU. On the CAN network, we're still adding compatibility with OEM CAN network on some cars. Right now, we have a compatibility with the 66 Corvette Z06. So you can connect CAN high and CAN low on the port B on FT600 CAN port B. Select OEM CAN right here. Then just navigate here and select the sensors or the readings you want the FT600 to use for control. Let's say all the sensors you select here will be logged on the integrated data logging, internal data logging on these ECUs. But let's say you have an engine temperature sensor on being read from the stock from the OEM CAN. You can use this sensor as a base sensor for engine temperature compensations, and you can use as well the wheel speed from the OEM CAN in order to program time-based curves for launch and everything. So right now we only have one car in this network, but we'll soon be adding more. These were some of the new releases of this version. Please like our video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.